Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on February 13th, 2026. But no matter when you're clicking into this reading, especially if it's further down the road, there is a message here that your guides are trying to get across so that way you may be able to put yourself back on the right path or even give you further guidance. And you are more than welcome to dive into the description box below where there is a timestamp, so that way you can go ahead and dive into the reading while I get the rest of the intro out of the way. So, if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. Always here on this channel, I want to make sure everyone feels that they deserve to celebrate and find things to celebrate in their life. There's always good things that we have around us, whether that be through achievements or moving up in the career ladder or finding a new life celebration even. And leading into my disclaimers next, I cannot give professional advice, but I can share personal experiences and the messages that your guides are coming in to reveal today. So always remember that you should understand your situation a little bit more than I do, and each person's experience will be just a little bit different than the next person's, and everyone has a different perspective or take on things. So try to use your free will as if you have the wheel in your hands at all times, and you are not living your life based off of solely what this is going to tell you what you should do. You know, that's not what the purpose of these readings are. It's just so that way you have a little bit of clarification, a little pick me up, or even just inner guidance that really needs to come through from your higher self. And secondly, if this reading is not resonating, please do not try to open a door that doesn't even have a knob for you to turn or even the key to jam into the lock that won't even unlock itself. It's going to be very frustrating, and it's just going to cause a lot more pain and hurt when you are forcing something that isn't really there. And, if it's not resonating, there's a couple of reasons why. First off, you may have someone that is really close to you. And this could be a family member, a friend, or even someone you may work with, or just someone you are in contact with. And your guides are bringing this awareness to you so that way you can channel this message almost like a radio signal when this other person may not be tapped into their intuition like you are. And the last thing that you can take from this reading is, if you have not came across this situation or experienced this dilemma or situation or blessing, add this to your tool belt. The more tools you have, the easier it will be for you to tackle any kind of situation or obstacle that may come your way and make you even more successful. And it doesn't hurt to kind of like be like, have I been taking care of my needs, or have I been focusing on other things? But, just take it as it is. It's like a gentle mother reminder, if anything. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this reading. We have Cancer energy coming through. Now, you do not have to have Cancer placements in order for this reading to resonate specifically to you. This just means that Cancer is showing up and embracing you with its loving energy, trying to help nurture comfort and help you feel protected, or even help give you the tool in order to nurture others, comfort others, and protect others. And this is a card that is wanting you to understand what it truly means to be your own healer, not relying on someone else to come in and fix the wounds or the scars that you may have on your soul that have lasted either in this lifetime from early on in your years or even in a past lifetime. It is up to you to be your own healer. And this is a card that wants you to start asking what makes you feel safe and cared for. How can you truly take care of your needs? Like, what is something that you do to do that? And if you have been more focused on your own needs and have been neglecting certain other things around you, like the relationships you have, or maybe even at work, you've just had a lot going on in your life. And now is the time to start nurturing the seeds of your relationships and providing that sustainability or that protection that your loved ones may need, so that way they feel, they're not on, or how do I word this? When you have an external shell, because this is Cancer energy, and you are refusing to let anybody come in to provide the healing you need because you've created this boundary around you, that it's just like the instant someone could come in and heal you, and then they would have to leave and go do their own things that they have to do in life. And it's like you're scared you're going to cling to someone again who could provide that healing for you. Or this could be someone that you are around that may be like that as well. And you're trying to break down the wall one piece at a time, so that way you can finally pull an actual vessel or substance out of this hard exterior, so that way you can truly embrace it and provide it the warmth that it needs. So anytime Cancer comes out, and there's another astrology sign that'll come out where I will feel the need to pull an inner child oracle, and this is a time to listen to your needs and listen to the needs of your inner child. Always on this channel, I am a big supporter of inner child work. So if you are someone that likes to invest in more healing, especially in that areas of your life, if you have experienced a lot of trauma or just need a little bit more, you just want to check in, how's my inner child doing? Or even think about the children that you may be around that you were nurturing and protecting. By working through your inner child, you are becoming a better parent, an aunt, a caregiver of some sort for these other children that are in your life. And they can see that it is okay to have the feels. It is okay to need help when you need it. But that's a little bit about Cancer energy coming through. So let me go ahead and talk about the inner child and what it is needing today. Going inward. Take time today to meet with your inner child. Find a comfortable spot. Close your eyes and let your awareness go inward. Feel for the place within you that draws you in, and allow for your inner child to come to you there. Let them be as they are, embracing them, listening to them, and providing them with unconditional love. So what I love about this card is this makes me think of when you have like a cat that has been through so much turmoil in its life, and it has lost, it may have had a loving owner at one point, but then something happened, and now it's on the streets, and it's been through a lot of hell, and it's lost its ability to trust those around them. So this is making me think that in order for you to get close to this part of yourself, let it come to you little bit at a time, where you are constantly showing it unconditional love without anything, like you're not wanting anything from it this day. You are just saying, hey, I'm here, just so you know I am here. So if you have anything you would like to do, anything you'd like to say or express, I'm here if you want to. And just sit there. Sometimes sitting there, that way they can see that your body language is not threatening. And with the cat analogy that I was talking about, having food, making sure it is nurtured, making sure you are not forcing it to go without, and just providing that love. And then eventually it will have trust in you again. And this can even talk about the need to have trust in others. So think about how you can go inward today and tap into your inner child. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about this crystal that came through, and look at how beautiful these colors are within this crystal. It's almost like wanting to dive into something that will purify you and just bring you a sense of peace. It's like, this is the kind of water that I would want to swim in. But this is turquoise, and turquoise has symbolism with peace, tranquility, and having patience. Tranquil and calm. Not like a tranquilizer. I can't speak. Tranquil and calm. Turquoise reminds you that there are gifts in the everyday, and each moment in your life matters. Small things add up and become big things over time. Have patience for all your labors of love, including yourself. Regarded as a bridge between heaven and earth, turquoise is a sacred stone in many Native American traditions and used as a source of healing and connection. Link to the heavens within yourself, the parts that bring you joy and remind you of your own inner magic. And we have a lot of these Jupiter and Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Venus, and Neptune. So these are energies that talk about bringing more love and beauty and abundance into your world and expanding and growing through those areas of your life where you can be a leader. And anytime your sponge starts to fill up or your vessel starts to fill up and it needs to purge something out, you will be able to do so. And Pisces is just making you just a little bit more sensitive to the things that are being downloaded. So that way you can have that connection with heaven and ground it back to earth, and looking into like your dreams and seeing what is being conveyed here. All right. Now, I was going to go ahead and jump into your tarot, but before I do that, your divine feminine is coming through and wanting you to check in with your intuition. What is your higher self telling you? If you have been asking that question of what is something trying to tell me, what is that information, now is a great time to nurture your intuition. And, by listening, you are providing yourself the comfort that you need and being able to go inward. All right, now let's go into your tarot, and I will go ahead and reveal each one. And I decided today to give each area of the focus that I am talking about today its own affirmation to kind of give it a boost. So your focus, which is impacting your career, your relationships, and your dreams with the subconscious, we have the Eight of Wands coming through. And then for your career, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. Your relationships, we have the Star in reverse, and your subconscious, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So I do want to kind of like clarify something here for you. If you were not aware of it, there is a lot of change that is about to be coming through in your life that is necessary. This is almost like divine guidance, divine timing, trying to help you take a hold of your life again and take action on the things that may be stagnant, may be lacking, or even hurting you along the way. But you are needing to put a lot more focus on, being in alignment with yourself and your inner child, and doing things that really inspire you and give you freedom and space to move forward. And this is a card that is telling you to stop resisting the flow that is going in your life. I like to talk about the North Node. If you don't know what the North Node is, it is your true calling. And when you have been putting yourself in a river that is not the river you were supposed to be going down, that is when you find the most resistance, the most irritating and frustrating obstacles in your life that are trying to swallow you and spit you out back into your river. Like, this is not the portal you need to go in. So when you know you are actually following your guidance, things are easier. Doors are opening up. I talk about a doorknob in my intro. If the door doesn't even have a knob, then that should be your indicator that that's not for you, at least not yet. But we have a torch that is being brought in right now to help inspire you, so that way you can continue to feel connected with your guides and your own intuition here. And this is telling you that if you have been slowing down in things, or slowing your own healing process down, or staying stuck in a career that isn't moving forward, this is basically putting a light under your rear end and saying you cannot keep doing this because it's just going to cause you to miss more opportunities in your life. So there is a need for emphasis on your intentions and action. When you actually intend to do something, you have the action to actually want to go and do whatever it is that you are trying to plant. And one of the best pieces of advice that was given to me in one of my tarot decks is before you go to bed at night, think about something that you would like to accomplish for the next day. Make it just one small thing, but also think about the things that you have already accomplished that make you feel really good, whether that's eating a meal, talking to this spirited child, or just being here, being present, and helping assist the collective. It's that kind of thing. But, and this card is asking you, because this is coming in, this card flies through and it's not going to wait. It's going to keep moving just as life does. Divine timing is divine timing. But when we have these, Eight of Wands, or anytime you see anything that is not a major high card, I can't even speak, a major, I can't even speak today, guys. The big bad boys. When the big bad boys are here, that means a lot of things are going on, and that's why there is a lot of change here needing to happen. But when you have the minor suits coming through, these are everyday obstacles that are just going on around us. And this one is saying there is a need to actually do something, something needs to click here, because there's not much more warning that you can get when you have the crow coming in here. Literally, the crow is coming in here to say something. But align your resources that you have currently and your energy. They have to match together, your energy plus your resources, and focus them on one specific goal in your career, a specific goal in your relationships, and working towards understanding your intuition and your subconscious here. Now in your career, we have the Hanged Man, which usually can talk about these delays or resistances to change that may be going on with processes, or maybe a swap of managers or bosses coming through, or even just maybe things are being combined together. We're having to work with other people. And so we're having to wait for more decisions to come in, or people are just indecisive of how they want the business to run. And if you are expecting, like, maybe you need to get a project lifted off the ground, but you need the funding in order to do so. So you're waiting on money to come through, or even waiting for these resources to come through so that way you can actually take action. Now, with the Eight of Wands coming through, that is clarification here that the wait is about to be over and you're actually going to be able to get back to work again. And it may take, I would even take this as a blessing anytime that there's a little bit of halt on something that needs to be done. Maybe a machine broke down, or, emergencies happen, things happen. And this is a great time to kind of look and see, do we need to reorganize the way we utilize our groups? Do we need to reorganize how we execute our day-to-day business? And do we need to reprioritize based off of new demand? Because seasons change, and each season requires a different want, a different need. So it is so important to be ahead of whatever those trends may be, whatever your customers may need, or even whatever your business needs in that moment. So think about what you need to reprioritize in this moment, so that way you can gain a new perspective, especially if you're starting to realize there's an old problem that keeps coming through and you haven't had the ability to really dive into it or create a solution for it. Well, by stepping out of the zone itself, or wherever you may be, then you can start developing a new solution in a much more creative environment where you can just free form your thoughts out into the world, or even connect with those who may also be having these stalls. So this is a great time to kind of like reconnect and see if others are having the same issue and if anyone has come up with a better solution to deal with these setbacks and delays. And the other thing the Hanged Man can talk about is when you have found that you have done a lot of grind, a lot of work, especially with the Seven of Wands being in the back of your mind, you may need to step away for a reprieve or a vacation of some sort. So that way you can re-energize and refuel yourself and, think about your your next strategy that you would like to do for your career world, whether especially if you've been thinking about something for a little bit too long. And if you are trying to move up, I will say that the Hanged Man is someone that says they have been spending a little bit way too much time thinking about this proposition, and there may be other people that are coming in for this. So I would ask of this manager or this boss or whoever is involved with hiring when you will be expected to receive either the green light or even what is going up with this connection. What are we waiting on? Are we waiting on more interviews for other people, or do I need to start thinking about applying for something more different? And if you are not accepted for this job role, then always look for feedback. Well, what are you looking for this job role that would have made me more suitable? Or what made you feel like you needed to kind of hang up on me during this period? Is it, people have things going on in their life. And I got this from my last position when I worked in retail. I am a firm believer in the sundown policy, giving people 24 hours to find answers for them. And if I can't find an answer or a solution for it, I will let them know after I've exhausted all of my resources. So make sure that people don't hang up on you. You actually expect a deadline for them to get back to you. Now, in your relationships, we have the star coming through. And this is a desperate need for a little bit of reprieve when it comes to those that you are involved with. And you may have even started to feel like you are losing a little bit faith in these relationships. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a romantic relationship you are losing faith in, but if you've been hung up at work, you're probably losing a little bit of faith of someone getting back in contact with you or even finding a solution for this issue that may be here. And this, if you are looking for a relationship, the star in reverse kind of talks about someone that has they're doubting whether or not they are going to find a true connection that brings them happiness, that isn't going to, take more than what it can actually offer. But this card is this card talks about more so prioritizing your own self-care and your own nourishment, which makes a lot of sense with Cancer coming in here and reevaluating where you stand with those that are around you. And because right now you are disconnecting currently and trying to go through your own personal transformation and trying to discover who you want to be and who you want to attract in your life that brings hope and renewal and doesn't constantly bring despair or or issues around trust, because you care a lot about being able to trust someone. If you can't trust someone, then you put that shell up and prevent others from coming in. And this is really about figuring out what works for you in a relationship and what doesn't. And doing this by learning from your previous relationships. But I love that we have the lamb in her lap. It's like you're going inward to hold something really close to you while you are looking up to the stars and asking for guidance. So that way you don't lose that faith in, something that is really good and positive for you and you can heal. And, The last thing you want is to feel as if you are disconnected from the divine. You never are. And if you are looking for a soulmate connection, one of the ways to make that connection happen is jumping back into your river, even if you think that it's going to take forever before you find that this river shakes you down. I'm sorry, I'm hitting my camera. But just trust the timing and do what is right for you first. Go inward and see what it is that you need to take care of first. And then over here in your dreams, we have the Seven of Wands, which talks about a lot of exhaustion is going on in your life. And I know yesterday I had the Ten of Wands as well show up with the main focus. And I love that we are taking action on the things that are burning us out, that are making us want to give up, or the things that are starting to overwhelm us. And your mind, your dreams are trying to tell you to really think about how much more that you can spend in all the areas of your life that are causing you to have to work harder than normal. If this is a situation that you have been beating your head against, or even this hammer against, and forgot what the main purpose of it all was. In the background, you can see this train. So there is transportation that is readily available to take you out of this situation. And you have been trying to build the road for what it is that you want to walk on. And as you can tell, you are using all these nails, but it's not even a smooth road that you are trying to pin down. It's one that is causing the most resistance, and you're not even going to be able to drive a train down it. You're not going to be able to really move anywhere on this road. Or if you are trying to finish something really quick, your mind is telling you, slow down, reevaluate the energy that you're spending in, because you're about to cause a lot of struggle. And in the background over here, we see these mountains. So there was a lot that we had to overcome here. But so long as the sun is beating down on us, causing us to lose focus, and the sweat we are pouring in is, making it even more harder to hold a grip on this hammer. So all these nails are almost like they're coming out of the ground that you were trying to shake. So step back, reevaluate the needs that you have been doing, because the Hanged Man, if you are needing some kind of reprieve from work or someone to pick up a job that you have been doing, one thing that this does remind me of whenever I was a manager, we always had to alternate who had to do heavy load jobs. So that way, not one person was constantly wearing their back out. And if I didn't have anyone on my shift that could do that, then I would put myself in position to do that job. So that way, this didn't happen where someone could potentially hurt themselves. So your guides are coming in with like I said before, they are trying to light something up underneath you to wake you up, so that way you can see that you have been living in this sense of despair with those in your life, and you have been trying to create something that is not stable. So reevaluate your plans right now and take the knowledge that you have had before and see if there's a different perspective that you can gain from all of this. Now, your Moonology cards that are going to come through and kind of like help guide this is, so with the Eight of Wands, confidence is your key to success. And this came out yesterday too. New moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success, and that is how you are going to take advantage of this energy that is trying to help you focus. And then for your career, we have the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. It takes a lot of communication here and understanding, okay, what am I waiting for right now? Am I waiting for someone to tell me that I have exactly what I need to do this? Or do I need to discover the answers for myself? The answers you need are coming. And then for your relationships, we have A time for healing with the balsamic moon. There is always a time for healing, even when you are at your 100%. There's always areas and aspects of your life that you can bring a star in, so that way you can help fulfill your own wishes, your own desires, where you are not constantly having to take care of others and help them with their own tower moments, because the star comes after the tower, when we're having to rebuild ourselves and reevaluate. And then for your subconscious, we have surrender to the divine, full moon. Allow yourself to surrender and let the frustrations you may have, whatever problems you have, actually talk about them and release them out to the divine. Full moon energy is really great to do that, so that way you can start releasing what you need to. And it's a great time to talk to your inner child as well. Now, the last things, or the couple last things that are going to come through, but let me go ahead and give you, your self-care, self-love oracle. Step outside for fresh air. Give yourself a break from whatever it is that you have been focusing on, so that way you can get a little bit more clarity and just really help your nervous system too. All right, affirmation for focus. I am amazing in all the things that I do and pursue. I am amazing. Your career, I am fun, even when there's a lot of work that needs to be done. If I allow myself to have fun during this process, I can create more different solutions and results that go beyond my own understanding. And it creates an environment where, others want to join in and not see this as just my task, but they would take the task for themselves as well with confidence. And then with relationships, I am in alignment with the universe. Yes, surrender to the divine, so that way you can see that you are aligning yourself with the universe, and everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's for healing, and sometimes it's for bringing in the change that we need in our life. And then for the Seven of Wands, I am confident. Yes, see, I am confident in my endeavors. When I believe that I am confident, I am successful. That's the key here today, guys. Now, if you enjoyed this reading and would love to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. I post these every day, so I enjoy seeing everyone coming together, being a part of these readings, and letting me know little bits and pieces, like maybe clarification if it does resonate, or if they need a little bit of assistance. I use the comment box to work together. That's really one of the goals behind it. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Have a blessed day and allow for healing to come in.